Hey there, how's it going? Let's talk about some fragrances that I have been wearing this past week. If you're a new collector or if you're somebody who's been in the fragrance game for a long time and you just want to hear some interesting recommendations, I've got 10 really versatile fragrances that are going to be perfect for this kind of summer to fall time, because some of them are going to be aquatic and sweet, some of them are going to be more Middle Eastern and niche. So we really have a nice wide range of fragrances to talk about for all different price points. So if that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing, stick around, make yourself comfortable, and let's jump right in. What's going on, everyone? It's Eli with Common Sense. Thank you so much for joining me, and as always, I'd like to hear what you guys have been wearing on yourself this past week. If you have any new pickups, leave it down below and I'd love to hear what you've been wearing. A lot of the Middle Eastern fragrances talked about today you can actually pick up at tripletraders.com. They have a really nice wide array of fragrances over there, and if you use my code Common Sense, you can save 10% on your entire order. And that also goes for the last fragrance and also the House of Barrett fragrances. So if you use that code Common Sense, you can even save 20% over there. So it's a way to support the channel and also save you some money. A couple weeks ago, it's like we got a little taste of fall. It was cool for a couple days, and now this past week it was super hot again, and man, it was kind of strange. But for Monday, I decided to go with a really nice aquatic fragrance, and this one is a classic. This is Acqua Di Gio Profondo. Now, this is not a new fragrance. This has been out for a long time, and basically, if you go into Macy's, the sales reps are still pushing this one, and I think maybe even the 2024 release, but I have both of them, and I still really enjoy this original Profondo DNA. It smells very marine-like. It's kind of mineralic, and it has a nice kind of metallic earthiness. It's got a beautiful sea-like quality to it. There's some rosemary in there, so it smells very masculine, kind of green, but at the same time, it is a very easy to wear office-friendly fragrance, and honestly, I feel great when I wear it. And when it's super hot outside, you're working in the sun, it's a nice bit of sweetness and a nice bit of that kind of soil earthiness combined with that nice citrus note, and it makes for a really nice masculine metallic sea salt fragrance, and that one is Acqua Di Gio Profondo. Now Tuesday, I decided to break out one of my cooler weather fragrances. Again, sometimes if you're working inside in the AC or you're at an office, you could technically still pull off some of the colder weather fragrances. I wore Fragrance World's Kopi Luwak on Tuesday, and this one was actually really nice. It's got a nice nutty, earthy coffee to it. It's also got a little bit of a cherry vibe in it, so it's like a fruity coffee with some nice kind of chocolate cocoa accords in there, but again, it smells kind of nutty, and it's also got like a really masculine quality to it. It's a little bit of like a sandalwood vibe, but really if you want a nice earthy, just kind of nutty, slightly animalistic coffee, then this is a great fragrance. And I've talked about this fragrance in my last video where I talked about, I think it was 20 under the radar fragrances from the Middle East. Spoiler alert, this is one of them. But yeah, this one is absolutely amazing if you can pick it up for about that $30, $40 mark, and that one is Kopi Luwak. Then in the afternoon, I actually got a new package in the mail, and I was so excited to try this fragrance out. This is Fragrance du Bois Cavort, and this is not going to be a cheap fragrance. This is going to be a niche fragrance, and I love doing a rotation. I like having variety in my week. I like doing the designer, Middle Eastern, and also some niche stuff. So with this channel, you are going to be seeing a nice variety of content, but this one, if you have a little bit of money and you want to just smell expensive, bougie, and if you like some nice creamy floral and kind of musk fragrances, this is going to be a must. What really makes this one magical is the rose, the ylang-ylang, and also some of the creamy spices in here. So there's some sandalwood. There's also a really nice kind of like peppery musk in there, but it definitely smells very rose dominant. And I think the ylang-ylang plays really nicely with some of that cinnamon and some of those other spices. But this is going to be perfect for a fall or a winter afternoon or a day when it's a little bit cooler outside. But again, I was working inside, so this one, I could pull it off. And I gotta say, Fragrance du Bois makes amazing floral fragrances, and that one was Fragrance du Bois Cavort. For Wednesday, it definitely got a lot hotter, and so I decided to go with a nice aquatic fragrance. This one was a really nice Rackstore cheapie. Got it for about 28 bucks or so from Burlington, and this one is Mercedes-Benz Man Bright. I always mess up the name. This is going to be a really nice fragrance if you like the Bleu de Chanel vibes. It kind of smells like the parfum, and something about it is just very comforting, and it's very mass pleasing. So if you like that really nice aquatic vibe with a touch of that sweetness and a nice masculine, just modern quality to it, this is going to be perfect because it's got that really nice citrusy, fruity vibe. It's got some of that incense and some of those really nice kind of earthy vibes. But man, this just really does smell amazing for the price. And honestly, it's one of the best alternatives. And that one is Mercedes-Benz Man Bright. And then in the afternoon, I decided to go for a really nice, warm, boozy fragrance. And this one is from the house of Maison Alhambra, and this one is Kismet Angel. Now, this one is going to be, of course, an angel share twist. And I know there's a lot of different ones. There's Cocktail Intense. There's also like the Yasmin ones from Triple Traders, but this one I actually really enjoy how it smells. It's blended quite nice, and it's got a really nice vanillic boozy sweetness combined with some of that cinnamon. And I feel like there's also just a little bit more vanilla in this one, and of course that beautiful warm radiant amber. So for an evening fragrance, this is going to be perfect if you're looking for a date night fragrance that captures that similar vibe to the Angel Share. I know there's also the Zara Sand Desert at Sunset. That one is also amazing, but this one, I think it is great for $25, and you really can't go wrong with this one. And that one is Maison Alhambra Kismet Angel. For Thursday, I also decided to wear the Kismet Angel, and I just really loved that DNA, and I could not get enough of it. But in the afternoon, I met some friends, and I wore this fragrance. This one is from Milestone Perfumes, and it is called Heritage Legacy. So this fragrance is going to be a twist on Ombre Nomad, and I want to say something similar to Nishane's Matna. Now, it's going to be that very strong animalistic leather. You got some musk in there, but it really does have that really, really unique oudi leather from the Ombre Nomad from Louis Vuitton. Yeah, that is definitely reminiscent of that, and I cannot believe how amazing it smells. Now, longevity on this one isn't fantastic. It is one of those $15 rack store fragrances that you can find. We're slowly getting more and more Middle Eastern fragrances from this house, and I feel like they're definitely expanding quite a bit. But this one, I imagine it's going to last even longer, and it's going to smell even better as it sort of sits on the shelf and matures a little bit. It is still something I want to address because performance and longevity wasn't amazing. I want to say it was good for about 30 minutes to an hour, but you could still smell it on your clothes if you smell really hard, probably about that 6 hours later. But smell-wise, this stuff was fantastic, and that one was Milestone's Heritage Legacy. Now, Friday, I went out of town with my cousin, and we had a blast checking out Los Angeles. We were hitting up some of the really expensive fragrance shops. We were going to go see Eptic, the DJ, and also some other really cool artists down there. But yeah, for that day and for basically most of this trip, I brought this niche fragrance. It's called Et Len Black Uddu. So this is going to be a very interesting fruity leather wood fragrance. It's a little bit of a smokiness from the incense and that leather accord. It's very black, but at the same time, it's not going to be too animalistic and in your face. It's not going to be a gross civet and really animalistic stink oud. It's going to be a nice, smooth, silky black suede and woods. And it also has a really interesting fruity note. I want to say it's like a mandarin vibe. It might have even been like quince or like a kumquat, but it's going to be similar to that Chanel for Men, the black bottle. That one is just absolutely fantastic, but this basically smells like the niche version of that. And I always love wearing this one to concerts or whenever I'm going out of town because it's great for the heat, and it's also got some complexity that you can wear in the cooler weather. And that's Black Uddu by Et Len. And then the next day, we also hit up some more fragrance stores, and I wore this fragrance. This one is Terra Nova by Michael Malul. So this is going to be Jen's Scent's take on the Bulgari Tiger DNA. I did buy this fragrance before I got a chance to smell the original Bulgari Tiger, and yeah, this one smells really nice. I feel like this is a little bit more derivative and it does its own thing just slightly, but Man, is this a wonderful summer staple. It's very fresh. It's got a really interesting grapefruit note in here. There's also some ambroxan, so it's gonna smell ultra modern. It's gonna be a little bit musky and have like an amber warmth to it. But this is a really nice blend of citrusy with that nice ambroxan vibe combined with just a touch of sweetness. It's not gonna be too sweet. It's just the right amount to where it's not going to be like in your face and be like, oh, here comes that overly cloyingly sweet cologne guy. No, this is going to be the stuff that they're gonna wanna smell. And I've got so many compliments on this one, especially when I wear it in the public. I probably got 5 or 6 compliments within the first week that I bought it. It's honestly crazy. But this one was perfect for walking around Venice Beach and also the Los Angeles area. And that one is Terra Nova by Michael Malul and Jensen's. And then today I actually was able to test out a new fragrance that I picked up from a fragrance outlet. And this one actually caught me by surprise. I'm quite shocked at how well this one smells. And I remember my cousin also helped me pick this one out. We were down to like 2 fragrances, this one and an arm off, and we both agreed that this one smelled way better. This one is called Rider by Cyrus Perfumes. Now, I never heard of that brand before, and it looks like they're a sub-brand of SPPC fragrance. Never heard of it before, but it was really interesting because this fragrance, at least from the wrapper, it looked like it was also a sub-brand of Afnan, I believe. It was either Armaf or Afnan, so one of the Middle Eastern fragrance brands. So this could be a really interesting fragrance house to check out if you're at any of those fragrance outlets near you. But this one, Rider by Cyrus, smells really, really smooth, and it is definitely familiar. So this is going to be similar to Azzaro's Wanted Eau de Toilette. So it's the lighter bottle, and it just smells so classic. It's a little bit sweet. It's got a nice cinnamon spice to it. It's almost like it has a little bit of leather in this one, and I feel like it changes it up just slightly. And I do own also the English Laundry Crown, which is one of my favorite fragrances from English Laundry. It definitely captures that vibe, but I feel like this is a little bit longer lasting, and I sprayed it on myself early this morning, and it's been going strong for about 6 hours or so, and I can still smell it on my arms. So this is a really good alternative for about that $20 to $40 mark. I think I paid 39 bucks for this one, but you can find it online for about 20 bucks, and it's a really good choice. That one is Rider by Cyrus. And last but not least, one of my favorite weekend fragrances. This is from Barrett Fragrances, and this is Cabo Coast. This is going to be an almost identical clone and a twist on Creed's Virgin Island Water. I did get to sample the original stuff at the Saks Fifth Avenue in LA. I remember thinking, this smells just like my Barrett Fragrances bottle. This stuff is an unbelievably refreshing vacation fragrance, and I probably should have brought this one actually on my vacation, but that'll be for next time. This straight up smells like a coconut drink on the beach. It smells like you got martinis or like some gin or something. And it's also got a really nice coconutty lime in there. So you got the lime, coconut, and I feel like it also just smells very tropical and very fruity. And it's got that really nice energetic vibe from the original Virgin Island Water, from that coconut and those kind of fresh drink accords. But man, this stuff just smells so heavenly. It's super long lasting. It's an extrait de parfum, and you can also get it for about 38, 39 bucks if you use the code Common Sense at Barrett Fragrances. You can save 20% on this really high quality fragrance juice, and I highly recommend checking out this fragrance house because they have some hidden gems for sure. I probably have like 8 or 9 fragrances from them. But that one is Barrett Fragrances Cabo Coast. So those were 10 fragrances that I have been rocking on myself this past week. They're extremely versatile, and I feel like you can use them in almost any situation. Of course, when the weather allows, but all of these, I think they're pretty blind buy worthy. And I think if you want something that's just gonna make you feel good, then these are going to be perfect options. Again, let me know down below if you've tried any of these or if you have any new fragrance discoveries that you want me to check out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. You stay safe out there. I'm Eli with Common Sense, and until the next time, bye-bye.